Good afternoon, everyone. Today I am at the Polynesian Village Resort, a resort that I love at Walt Disney World. You know I do. And today I'm thinking about why you definitely want to take the time out of your vacation to visit one of the Disney resorts while you're here. First, let's think about some of the obvious ones. Right off the bat, it's going to be relaxing. Going to a resort rather than a park, it is going to be extremely relaxing. That being said, you might be the type who says, you know what, I much prefer being on the go, go, go. And even for you, and I know this is going to be difficult to hear, but even for you, I would say it is worth taking just a little bit of your vacation time to experience at least a few of Disney's amazing resorts. Now, this opinion for me has changed over time. In the past, I would stay at resorts and almost never even see them. I would spend all day, all night in the parks, and it was magical. I loved it. I loved doing it. But there comes a point where you realize and you say to yourself, okay, I've done it. It's amazing. It's magical. I don't want to take away from the magic, but there is even more to see that I haven't experienced yet. And living in the area, it has taught me the value of the resorts. They are unbelievably relaxing, super getaways that you cannot experience anywhere else. Now, we went to Aulani together, and I know that one of the first thoughts you may have as you're thinking about a place like the Polynesian, just as an example, since we're here, is it similar? Is it close? Is it trying to get to that Aulani feel? Yes, of course, they're trying to go for that Aulani feel, and it's similar in many ways, but it's also uniquely different. And I really do like that about the Disney resorts, the Yacht Club, the Beach Club, Animal Kingdom Lodge. It's unique. It's not something, they're trying to kind of go for a theme in a certain way, maybe the yachts and the beaches or Polynesia. But on the other hand, maybe it's just being unique in a Disney way. It's something that is extremely special. So we know that the resorts are super relaxing, and they are some of the best when it comes to sitting back and enjoying Walt Disney World, but it goes even further than that. The Disney resorts have some fantastic food and snack options. The Polynesian Village Resort, one of my all-time favorites, is here, Pineapple Lanai and the Pineapple Dole Whip. In my opinion, it's better than the one in the Magic Kingdom. I don't even know how that's possible, but it's so good. In addition to the Pineapple Dole Whip and a snack, they also have some great food at the resorts. At the Polynesian, you can go to Captain Cook's, find some amazing quick service food, or down the hallway at Trader Sam's for some amazing theming in a bar. Now, it's not just quick service and snacks. They also have full restaurants like Kona Cafe, which is amazing for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and Ohana, with some unbelievable views of the fireworks. The resorts also have spectacular shopping, and many of the items that you find in the resorts you can't find at any of the parks. The deluxe resorts are great for that. Several of these resorts are themed so well that they have specialty items that are only sold at the resorts. So you have to go to the resorts to get them. Now, if you're into pin trading, several of the resort shops also have pin boards or books, or maybe just cast members wearing pins, and some of the best pin trades that I've ever made, big secret here, have been at the resorts. Honestly, they got some great pins on them, so if you do enjoy pin trading, check the resorts. In the parks, especially for the holiday season, you're going to find super intense crowds, and that's pretty standard for the parks, but at the resorts, look around me, with some fantastic merchandise, very low crowds, and I love it. This Mickey bag looks super cool, by the way. It is a Loungefly bag. I think it is indeed $90. Take a look at that, but there's Santa Mickey right there. Great merchandise at the Disney resorts, and something I've noticed in the past, and this might just be from what I've noticed, I'm sure they have several of these products inside the parks and even at the airport, or whatever shop is open at the airport at the time of filming. You can see they have all sorts of cool items like this coffee press here, which I got from my mom a little while ago, and she loved it. In addition to the snacks, casual, quick service, and regular dining, they also have dinner shows at some of the resorts. Spirit of Aloha is very unique to the Polynesian, but it's magical. It's just another way to enhance your magical experience. Now, not to worry, if you don't have reservations at a spot like Ohana, because it is extremely popular, you can always go to another spot like Kona or the Tabu Lounge behind me. They serve many of the similar food options that you can find in Ohana, and you get that same Polynesian feel, which you know I love. Now, we've talked about a few of those things that are spectacular about visiting the Disney resorts, but it goes beyond that. Why do you want to take time out of your magical vacation to visit the resorts? To answer that question, I feel like you have to break down Walt Disney World into what it is. It's got the parks with the amazing shows and rides and nighttime spectaculars, but it's more than that. It's about experiencing a new place and being fully immersed in that new place. And I feel like some of that has to do with the resorts. Disney is world renowned for their level of immersion. They can take you and transport you to a galaxy far, far away, or to the islands of Hawaii. And that's what they do here in the Polynesian. And to be here, to be at Walt Disney World, to experience all of it, you want to take advantage of everything that you can. And that's one of those things that I highly recommend. Now, we've mentioned many of the things that make the resorts so unbelievable to visit, but the bigger question that I think we all need to ask ourselves, does it make sense financially to go to a resort and visit it on a day you would have otherwise been at the parks, experiencing a nighttime spectacular or a brand new ride? I think that really depends on you. The reason I say that is because if you've been to Disney many, many times, and I don't think I can put a number on it, but if you've been to Disney enough where you can walk the parks blindfolded, or if you've been to every single ride, you know them up and down, you love them, and you're ready for something new, you're ready for that change, you're ready for something different, then absolutely, you know yourself, you know it's time to kind of branch out and see those resorts, and it makes for a spectacular extra experience. Now, that being said, if it's your first, second, maybe even third time to Walt Disney World, do I feel like visiting the resorts should be at the very top of your list? I think they're amazing. I think they're magical. I think you should prioritize them. Personally, yes. That being said, if it's your first, second, or third time, I and no one else can blame you if you just want to see the parks the whole time. Absolutely. Maybe just go to one of the value resorts and just see parks the entire time. Absolutely. Absolutely. That being said, I would also make time for the resorts as you go to Disney more and more. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth time at Walt Disney World, I would definitely start visiting those resorts and prioritizing them. That's how I would do it. I mean, I can sit here and see Cinderella Castle all lit up. Look at that, with snow and ice. Truly magical, absolutely magical to see it. And it's something totally unique. I'm by myself out here. There's no one around us here. It's just you and me. We're just spending time here together. And that, to me, is a big part of vacation that you can't recapture. It's difficult to recapture moments like that. It's difficult to recapture any moments, of course. But this one is, I just love it. I absolutely love spending time here, and I really prioritize it, and I definitely will now and in the future. One strategy my family and I have used quite a few times when we come to Disney, want to see those resorts, and maybe in the past when I wasn't an annual pass holder, other members of my family were not annual pass holders, what we would do is we'd buy tickets for maybe, let's say 4 days. 4 days of tickets, and then some days we wouldn't have tickets at all, and we would just spend time at the resorts. Now, this can make financial sense depending on how long you were planning on staying at Disney and how many days you want to be in the park. So if you buy 4 days, maybe it makes sense to just buy 7 because it's very similar, you know, with the cost per day really goes down at that point. But it's just some calculation that you can do, but it's just a strategy, one that I wanted to pass on to you. It has worked really well for us in the past and allowed us to see many more of the resorts over time. Another strategy that I personally use quite a bit is to stay at a value resort like Pop Century, and then during my vacation days, I might come out and eat at Ohana, or I might go to Kona, I might just visit the Contemporary or visit the Beach Club and enjoy it. So that's just another strategy. To enjoy the resorts, you don't have to stay at them all day. That's the convenience of many of the deluxe resorts. They're very close to the parks. Polynesian, Grand Floridian, Contemporary. An example, the monorails right here. And with the implementation of the gondola, many of the moderate resorts are becoming extremely accessible as well. Another big advantage of those resorts is the fact that they're usually far less crowded, even when the parks are extremely crowded. It's not even December yet, and the Christmas crowds are all around Walt Disney World. Let's take a closer look. It's funny to think how light the crowds are at the Polynesian Village Resort when Main Street USA looks like this. It's definitely a huge difference. If you are ready for a break from the crowds, that's my best piece of advice for it. Go visit the resorts. They are spectacular, almost, no matter what time of year it is. Really, it's that low crowd, super nice. Now, I say almost for a very specific reason. If you're thinking Christmas Day, probably gonna be a little bit more crowded in those resorts, but compared to the parks, still gonna be low crowds. Now, if you're thinking about enjoying Happily Ever After or another fireworks show here at the Magic Kingdom, and the crowds look like this, there are other options. Of course, you can't see them from the resorts. You're not gonna get the projections, which in my opinion are one of the best parts of the show, but if it's super crowded like this, it's not a bad option to have in your back pocket. And now, of course, when you're at the resorts, you can't catch sights quite like this, Cinderella Castle from on top of Dumbo, but those are the small differences. There is something to be said for everything at Walt Disney World, absolutely everything, because in my opinion, everything has been sprinkled with pixie dust and has magic. If it's your first, second, third time at Walt Disney World, I can see the reasons why you may want to hold off until you have more Disney experience under your belt. But I gotta be honest, anytime is a good time, in my opinion, to visit the resorts. I sure hope you found this video helpful and informative. If you're thinking about visiting the resorts on your Disney vacation, try it. It's a lot of fun. Thanks so much for being a part of the magic with me today. Until next time, have a magical day.